Yo, what is good, everybody? Gabriel Santos here, and you want to find your purpose. Duh, right? First of all, big props to you. Just the quest of finding one's purpose alone, to me, is an indicator that you want something more. You want something real, and you're curious on how to get there, right? So, this video is going to be a little different depending on the other videos or articles or books you've read. I certainly want to share like practical ways for you to find your purpose. But this video is going to be more so about me sharing how I found mine and how I continue to align and walk my path of purpose. Hopefully, to give you an insight as to how you can find yours and how you can really be in tune and connected to yours. All right. So, right off the bat, um, again, and I want you to stay open that my journey was my journey and that your journey is your journey. And there may or may not be many similarities that you'll discover between our journeys, but ultimately yours is going to be extremely unique to you. And so I honor that, and I encourage you to honor that sense of uniqueness. All right. And so, if ever in this video I like speak like my journey and your journey are going to be exactly the same, that's not my intent. I just have so much passion and conviction in some of my beliefs that maybe it can come across as intrusive to your journey. All right. So, anyways, so my journey to finding my purpose wasn't a streamlined, take this course, figure it out type process. It was more like, hey, read this book, get 1% of a download. Attend this seminar, get 12% of a download, right? And just over time, letting my curiosity and letting myself like think this is the answer, try it, fail, go astray. Oh, this is the answer, and just that whole process, right? So I would say first of all, you have full permission and authority for yourself in your life to pursue your purpose, to figure it out, and to want to be in line with that purpose fully, deeply, passionately for the rest of your life. And I say that because, and this comes from a very deep place within me, is that, you know, I went through my bouts with jobs and relationships and lifestyle choices that were not fulfilling whatsoever. And what that looked like for me was, making decisions based off of fear or insecurity to begin with, right? As well as making decisions out of curiosity and authenticity and desire, right? So there's this kind of like back and forth a mechanism where like you'll for example, I'll get a job at a Chinese restaurant because my ego feels like I need to make money and I feel like I have no job experience, so I need to go get that, only to learn like 3 months down the line that like I hate working here and I shouldn't be here, right? And then quitting that job, right? So there's just this process of you try this because it's what pulls you in that moment. You try it, you try it, you try it. You go through some personal breakthroughs within that opportunity, and then it serves its purpose, and it's time to move on. Now, something I must highlight is that, and some of you can certainly relate to this, is that you know there are certain things that we'll have going on in our lives, whether it's going to university, or college or school, or staying at your parents' house till you're like 22, 29, 34, being in a relationship. Okay, my point is that there's a human pattern to stay in situations that no longer serve us and that we've outgrown, but we don't leave and pursue the next chapter out of fear, right? And also like logical practical reasoning, which ultimately though stems from fear a lot of times, in my opinion. Now, not to say that, maybe it's just not time to take that next step and leave your job, right? Maybe it's not time, but deep in your heart, mind, and soul that, man, we got to get out of here, right? But it's when deep down in your soul that it's time to get out of here, right? The job, the relationship, the current living situation, okay? Deep down, you could feel it. It irks you every fucking day. You go to sleep not wanting to wake up and go live the life that you currently have, right? And it's like, where at one point you did, but it's not that time anymore. And so what happens is, yes, it may not be feasible to leave this job right now. It may not be feasible to move out of your parents' house right now, but what's important, I believe, to the soul and emotional, mental well-being is that you are pursuing and doing your best to figure out how to move things forward. It's when deep down that this is not for you, but you stay there and don't make any effort to leave, that kills you, right? Because every day is the same. It's like, oh my God, I need to go, but I gotta go to work, so I'm going. I'm too tired after work. I can't even think straight or feel straight. Let me just smoke some weed, drink some alk, play some video games, jack my face off, and go to sleep out of just pure like stress, deep pain. And so the irony is that running away and escaping via substance, via whatever your escapism of choice is, the real solution to that deep, deep, deep like pain is to actually do something about what that pain is telling you, which is, this is no longer where I want to be. This thing gives me more stress, more angst, more negativity than it does return and value, right? And so this is what happened to me, right? Like, I met you guys, if you guys remember last year, like, or whatever, I was posting a lot, like a decent amount, right? But then I got that job working at the schools and I stopped coaching. I stopped YouTube, and all my attention and my life centered around this job. But the reality is I took that job in a very exciting way. Like, I wanted to take it on, and it served its purpose. And it was a hell of a deal. I was working with children. I was only responsible for one at a time, technically speaking, and I was paid the most I had ever been paid in the workforce. And it had a lot of status to it. Like, like I worked in Hollywood. I was working in high status private schools. I would see like famous people parents come through. My supervisor was super dope, like dopest fucking boss I could ever ask for. There was a lot of flexibility, a lot of fun, a lot of play, a lot of pay. Yet it still wasn't where I wanted to be at the end of the day. Right? So what happens is there's all these good things that we are like, but I don't want to let that go, because it's like, when will something like this come my way? But then it gets to a point where, like, despite the fear of like not having all those good things, like that deep, 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 deep pain of like, fuck, but I don't want to go. That's really what is like the worst, because that feeling's with you every day, right? You'll get the paycheck, you'll have the status, but what's just right there with you all the time is like, man, I wish I just was somewhere else. And now here's the thing, you may not even know, like, well, fuck, I know I don't want to be here, but I don't know what I really want to do yet. Okay, well, maybe you don't know what your like ultimate purpose in life, like written in gold lettering, is. But you probably have a sense of like what you want to do instead of what you currently have. And so let go of this pressure of like, what's my purpose? And at the same time, like, be open to the fact that like your true, deep, deep, deep purpose, like, it's there. It's already within you, but it just has to reveal itself in whatever manner it needs to. Some of you are going to be struck by the lightning of the universe and wake up one day and be like, I fucking know what it is. I knew it all along, but I just was kidding myself. Some of you are going to have no fucking clue and are going to need to go through certain experiences, certain failures, certain, like trying something that you think is what is your truth and then realizing that it's not, and then keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. It's like, there's no way really. Like, some of you are going to know, for example, let's go to relationships. Some of you are going to know right off the bat, like, I want this type of person, this type of girl, this type of guy that is this way and is like this and like that, and I know that's what I want, right? You don't even have to like go through the playing field to know. Like, you just fucking know. And at the same time, many of you are also going to say you think you know. You're going to get it. And then you're going to be like, oh, this is great, but it's not exactly what I want. Right? So it's this process of like trying, experiencing, analyzing, surveying, and being like, I love this, but I don't love it for the rest of my life, love it. And so the question becomes, how can I find a new opportunity that has all the great things that I love about this current option, but also has all these other things that this current option lacks, right? And so to be more tangible, right, this school thing was great, the pay was great, and so for me it's like, how can I match the same pay at the very least, or hover around that pay rate, have the same sense of flexibility and freedom, but work with the type of clients I really want, and have even more flexibility and freedom, more pay, right? How can I find an opportunity that has more of what I want times 12 billion and reduces what I don't want, right? And you're allowed to have this. You're allowed to have it all. You really are. But there's so many different beliefs that comes up about that, right? There's a limited sense of possibility. I get it. There aren't that many examples in social media, public news media, billboards, or even examples within your own social circle to validate that, oh, I can really go for it all, and I can have it all, and that it's true, and that it's out there, and I can go get it, and there's a way to go get it, and it's not even like as rare as I think it is in my mind. Now, it's not as straightforward, I'll tell you that, but only because, like, let's say out of 100 people, only like 7 maybe are living their purpose fully, whereas the other 93 out of 100 fall somewhere in between, like, oh, I have a decent job and I'm okay with it, like, I'm just grateful that I have this because it's so rare. Like, you have those people. There's like 12 of those people. And then you have on that other side of the spectrum, like, I fucking hate my life. Like, life fucking sucks. Like, I didn't have jack shit growing up, and I don't have jack shit now. And fuck life, fuck everything. This is bullshit, right? You probably have like 50 of those people. As sad as that is to say. And so my point being here is that there are not as many examples of people living a high caliber, extraordinary, fulfilling life, but they are out there. And so my final piece of advice to close this video off is to stop listening to people, messages, and environments that say it's impossible. Like, you can entertain those things and honor and allow those things to exist, but don't make that a part of your operating system. Have a respectful disregard. I heard that from a couple that mentors me that are mega powerful, and they live life their own way. And they said, Gabe, look, in order to live an extraordinary life, you have to live an extraordinary way. And the world is filled with a lack of that. And so this is not about like making other people have to have a life of purpose, but at least for you, at least for us, that's what we must have. And so we have a polite, respectful disregard for how other people want to live their lives, as well as how we want to live ours. And so, if you want purpose, you want passion, you want fulfillment, you want more great feelings, more pay, more creativity, whatever it is that you want, you're allowed to have it, but you have to go and get it. It's not going to be handed to you. The world isn't going to tell you, oh, this is where it is, but be open to the fact that there are signs everywhere, y'all. But if in your mind the story is, it's so hard though, it's so hard, like it's too hard, then your brain is not going to recognize opportunities. All it's going to recognize is how hard it is, how the lack of the opportunities. Whereas if your belief system is, there's opportunity everywhere for purpose, passion, and pay, then your brain is going to look for those things. And what's funny is you will be struck with random opportunity, but only if you are open and on the look for it, right? So expose the BS and be willing to be like, well, do I want to hold on to this belief that says it's hard and just like argue the side of, no, Gabe, it's hard, and like hold it on like, oh, it's hard. I want to be right about how hard it is. I get it, it's hard. But are you willing to fight for that belief to the point where you never get to have what you want? Or do you want to be like, okay, I admit that it's been hard and it is hard, but I am ready for it to be easier, to be less hard, and I am open and willing to listen to the counsel of people who are living the life that you want to live. And so they have something to teach you and something to offer you that will actually help you get where you want. But if all you're holding on to is no, but it's hard, then there's nothing I can do. There's nothing anyone else or the world can do to help you anymore. At that point, it's on you to let go of your grudges against life and to slowly but surely or quickly align with the path that will finally allow you to live the life of purpose, passion, and fulfillment that you so burningly want and deserve. All right, so that's it. Shouts out Baby Yoda. Bruh. And, light shout out to everyone on the Conscious Singles Retreat. I know that none of you are watching this right now because you couldn't possibly know. But, I just have a lot of love and respect for not just those people on the retreat, but all y'all, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, life is actually so dope, but we're not taught, we're not trained, we're not developed as young children to have a good fucking time. So anyways, y'all, I love y'all. I appreciate you all. Please interact in the comments. You have no idea how much I love reading those. Like, but do as you do. Like, do as you do. All right. Anyways, appreciate you all. I'll see you in the next video. But until then,